Hello again. A few days ago, the Royal Parks, and people responsible for the upkeep of Hyde Park, Green Park, St James's, and so on in central London, put a page on their website in which they denounced the Albert Memorial because, and I quote, representation of certain continents draws on racial stereotypes that are now considered offensive. We learn too that though the Empire has traditionally been celebrated as a symbol of British supremacy, many today consider this view as problematic because colonialism often relied on the oppression and exploitation of people, resources, and cultures. Following newspaper articles about this, the page suddenly vanished from the website a few hours ago, which is a pity. I was going to give a link to it. But instead, I give a link to a newspaper article about it. You can find it in the description to this video. There were a number of specific ways in which the Albert Memorial was considered offensive to modern sensibilities. But before I talk about them, perhaps viewers might care to know what the Albert Memorial actually celebrates, what it commemorates. It's to Prince Albert, obviously Queen Victoria's husband, but also because he was such a cultured man, the whole of the Albert Memorial is a celebration of culture. Of what culture? Of European culture, particularly English and German culture. It's a celebration of European music, art, and literature. Around the base of the plinth are sculptures of various people who are famous for their cultural significance. We see Chaucer and Shakespeare, Milton, Goethe and Schiller, Dante, Virgil, and so on. Then there are musicians like Mozart, Beethoven, Handel, and Haydn, artists ranging from Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci to Gainsborough, and mathematicians like Pythagoras. This is the story of Western civilization, and it is really that which some people find offensive. This is high culture rather than pop music and television programs, and that makes it elitist in the view of many people. Then there are the symbolic sculptures, for example, the broken chains, which represent the fact that Britain abolished slavery and then devoted a section of the Royal Navy to fighting the slave trade off the African coast. This is offensive because it suggests that white people were rescuing black people. There is too a statue showing a white woman reading from a book to a black person seated on the ground. This suggests that African, that's to say sub-Saharan Africa, was illiterate until white Europeans and Arabs from the Middle East arrived and taught them how to read and write. This was mentioned on the Royal Park's website as being especially offensive. It is perhaps all the more offensive because it is true. There was no reading or writing in black Africa until people from further north arrived and showed them how to do it. European civilization, European art, literature, and science are what has made the modern world. Writing was devised in the Middle East and spread to Europe, where it was carried to the rest of the world. The wheel was invented by the Indo-Europeans and Mesopotamians, and they showed everybody else how to use wheels. Without the culture of the Fertile Crescent and the forcefulness of the Indo-Europeans, the world would still be in darkness. Instead of behaving as though this is something to be ashamed of, we should be celebrating Indo-European civilization, and the rest of the world should be showing their gratitude for all that we have given the peoples of Africa and the Americas and most of Asia. It's time to praise Europe, not apologize for it.